Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. And today we're talking about Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Was it a robbery? Well, most of you MMA fans think so, don't ya? I'm not going to lie. When I was watching it live, I did think Ngannou won. But like I do with all fights, I give it to you straight. I'm not biased. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's my favorite fighter. I will always give my honest opinion. And that's why I always watch fights over and over again to come to a conclusion. So I watched the Tyson Fury versus Ngannou fight again. And before I get into the scorecards, I just want to say great entertainment, obviously. I like what they done before the fight. It took a little bit too long, in my opinion, all that production and entertainment, artists and all that stuff. It was great. I think that is the future for boxing, doing stuff like that, but just obviously shorten it up. Nobody wants to sit there for that long waiting for a main event. But they can use that kind of format just to bring more attention to the sport. As I said, I've got my notes here as well. Live, I thought Ngannou won. But at the end of the day, does it matter who won? Because it's an exhibition. And Ngannou won no matter what. Even if he lost or he won, it doesn't matter. He still won. We're talking about a guy, an immigrant that got himself into France, I think it was. His story is quite remarkable. What he's been through to get to where he's at today is crazy. To be fighting the best fighter on the planet in the heavyweight division, that is, coming from his background and MMA. Talking about MMA. This is what I'm trying to say with you MMA fans. This is what I don't like. MMA fans so badly want to see MMA as the number one of all combat sports, so they don't want to see boxing win. They can't handle the fact that boxing is where the money is. And that's why you see their biggest stars cross over to boxing to make that money, because they can't make that money in MMA. You know what I mean? So they always want to say, so any little thing like this was a close fight, and straight away, because of the knockdown, they want to scream robbery. They don't want to analyze the fight. They just see it's there. The MMA beat a boxer. He knocked Tyson Fury down. Now, even me, live, it clouded my judgment. It clouded my actual judgment because I'm watching it live and I'm like, ooh, Ngannou just dropped Fury. But I was like, Ngannou just dropped Fury. This is sick. But a lot of people are like, Ngannou dropped Fury. Oh my God. How is that happened? I can't believe that Ngannou can drop Tyson Fury, the best heavyweight on the planet. You stupid ass dumb twats. Ngannou's a massive puncher. He's probably he hits just as hard as Wilder, if not harder than Wilder. But because it's MMA, people want to be shocked. But why shocked? You know what I mean? Why shocked? Francis Ngannou started boxing before he even done MMA in France. He started boxing. His dream was to become a world champion at boxing. His passion is boxing. He got an opportunity in MMA and he ran with it. You know what I mean? When do you see Francis Ngannou rolling around on the floor, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, trying to do, arm bars and all this bloody bars and shit? When do you see Ngannou do that? No, he's on his feet knocking out. That's what he does. If he is on the floor, He's bloody ground and pound, is it called, or whatever it's called. So why should it be a surprise that Ngannou knocked down Fury? For one, Fury's been knocked down loads of times in his career, way before Wilder even knocked him down. So you're trying to say someone that hits like a truck, like Ngannou, if your chin is right there to be hit, you ain't going to go down from Ngannou's punch. So why is everyone shocked? Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm watching. I can't believe what I'm watching. Ngannou's knocked down Tyson Fury. His foundation is boxing. Okay, he needs to get better at it, but his foundation is in boxing. And these MMA fans really piss me off when they go, oh, a boxer wouldn't get into a cage and fight an MMA fighter because they know what would happen. Of course we wouldn't, you dumbos. Are we that stupid? Boxing has one discipline. One discipline. We train to stand up and use our hands. We don't train to bloody wrestle around on the floor. We don't train to do jiu-jitsu or wrestling, you know, or rear naked chokes and all that stuff. What's that stuff? Other stuff called? I don't even know. But we don't train to do any of that stuff. Our only discipline is boxing. MMA have how many disciplines? Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, freaking striking, hugging, choking, bloody. I don't know the terms. I'm saying they've got 5, on top of my head, they've got 5 disciplines, right? 5 disciplines. One of them is boxing. So of course, MMA fighters are going to transition into boxing to get that payday, which MMA can never ever do because they ain't got the money to do it. Yeah? So of course it's more easier for MMA fighter to come over to boxing and do a boxing fight because they train in boxing. Okay, not every day, but they train in boxing to have the foundation, the basic foundations to be able to stand on their feet and strike in a freaking octagon. That's why you see people like Conor McGregor come over. Stylebender, Adesanya, he even done a boxing match. You know what I mean? Francis Ngannou, now. So, yes, of course, we're not going to transition over to an MMA cage. What, you think we're stupid? You think we're going to get choked out on the floor when we've never trained for that in our life? Use your brains, dummies. You know what I mean? You just can't handle it. That boxing is the number 1 for all combat sports. And that's the truth. It's the number 1. It's been around for centuries. Centuries. You could go back to the 1600s. It's been around. You know what I mean? And boxing is more dangerous. Why we put that at it? Boxing is 10 times more dangerous than MMA. There's more deaths, more injuries, more life-changing injuries in boxing than there is in MMA. When MMA, you get hit down to the ground, a referee is there to bloody be on top of you. One clean shot, they stop in the fight. If you're on the floor and you're in a choke, tap out. You ain't getting freaking injured. You know what I mean? You get some cuts, you get some bruises and all that kind of stuff. But boxing is just your fist. 12 rounds. Boom, 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 over and over and over again, so you get more damage. MMA fans, which I love your sport. I train an MMA fighter as well. I'm responsible for his boxing. I've trained him since 2017, and he became world champion. And he's still with me to this day. But I'm still going to talk my truth. I respect MMA. I respect the fighters. I respect their disciplines. I respect their hard work and their grind and their technical aspect of it. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't go and do that. And just like MMA, a lot of MMA fighters can't come and do boxing unless you have the foundations in boxing, which you do training, but it's just some of them are and they get beaten up. But you got ones that are more, more stand up than others in MMA, which is why McGregor fought Mayweather, which is why Francis Ngannou fought Tyson Fury, So understand that man. So yeah, I said, why is everyone surprised? Tyson Fury, on his part, unacceptable. You're talking about the champion, WBC champion of the world. The best of the best heavyweight in the world. The number one, numero uno. And he embarrassed himself by not taking Francis Ngannou serious. He come in the heaviest he's ever been. He's never even been that heavy for a boxing fight. For an official boxing fight. And he comes in at his heaviest against Francis Ngannou, thinking, oh, if I'm at my heaviest, then I can bully Francis Ngannou around. Wrong. Because he started gassing, because he was unfit, he didn't prepare properly. I heard that he only really done 5 weeks training with Sugar Hill, and he didn't take Francis Ngannou serious, and that's why you had a performance like that. And that's why boxing, you can't play games, you can't play boxing, you can't cut corners. Even someone that you think you can beat, if you're not on your game, you're risking losing. You know what I mean? So, Tyson Fury was terrible. I didn't like Tyson Fury, the way he boxed. It was terrible. But, although he boxed terribly, he still knew how to maneuver himself around the ring. Worked the jab. Nice 1-2s here and there. Moving left, moving right, all the small details of boxing. I was talking to an MMA guy today, MMA fan. I was saying, MMA fan, back to the MMA. MMA fans, yeah, the MMA fans that say it's a robbery is because, like I said, they only seeing the knockdown and they're only seeing the parts that Ngannou is letting his hands go. And it's like, whoa, he's giving Tyson Fury trouble here. But because they're MMA, they don't understand the details behind boxing. They don't understand the rules behind boxing. They don't understand what a jab does in boxing. You know, ring generalship does in boxing, and how that affects the judges and their scoring. So that's what you got to understand. It's not like scoring in MMA fights. It's completely different sport. So you're looking at it in one way where you're not looking at it like how I look at it in boxing. And as I said, I thought Ngannou won it live. But that's because I fell for it like you MMA twats. I fell for it. You know what I mean? Thinking, oh shit, what's going on? You know what I mean? Ngannou's actually alright. And he is alright. You know, Mike Tyson and his team, the rest of the coaches, they done a hell of a job. Hell of a. Like Floyd Mayweather, hell of a job. So here's my thing. Some rounds, Ngannou had success and had moments. And that's very key word, moments. But it wasn't sustained. He sat back a lot, waiting to counter. And it was hard for Ngannou to counter because Tyson Fury wasn't engaging. He was staying on the outside to that mid to outside range. The moment he did step in, look what happened. Ngannou got the counter. He dropped him with the left hook. A good left hook. And of Tyson Fury, he was wary after that. Wary after that knockdown. He was wary to come and commit. You know what I mean? So he decided to pick up the points. And despite his condition, he adapted well. So what I'm trying to say is, so with the knockdown, Ngannou obviously won that round. It was 10-8 round. Actually, let me go through the scorecard. So in the first round, I had it to Tyson Fury 10-9. Second round, I had it to Tyson Fury 10-9. Yes, you MMA fans have began, what? I give Ngannou the first 2 rounds. No, well, you don't understand boxing then, because he was, you know, for the first 2 rounds, Tyson Fury was sharp. Behind his jab, the sharp 1-2s, the movement, the feints. It was only until it got to the 3rd round when Tyson Fury made a mistake by throwing a 1-2, and then he tried to step in again with the 1-2, and he left his chin there and got countered with the left hook. Bang. Francis Ngannou, 10-8 round. 4th round, Tyson got back to his boxing, and he must have think, wow, that man hits like a mother. I don't want to get hit with that again. So let me box sensible and just get behind my jab. I thought I could be able to knock out this guy pretty easy, but he's got some, I don't know what it is, power that's made from, I don't know, something from a comic book, from a superhero movie. It's next level power. He didn't want to feel that again. So he got back to his boxing. So in round 4, 10-9. 10-9, he won that round again, Tyson Fury. Round 5, 10-9, Tyson Fury. Round 6, 10-9, Tyson Fury. Round 7, 10-9 to Ngannou. And round 8, 10-9 to Ngannou. Because Ngannou started letting his hands go more. Actually, there was 7 or 8, one of the two, where Ngannou started letting his hands go, like punches in bunches. And it was giving Tyson Fury trouble, even hurting him a little bit. He even bullied Tyson Fury at one point. He tried to hold Tyson Fury at one point, and Ngannou threw him like he was a ragdoll. You know what I mean? And this is why I go back to why I think Tyson Fury just kept it on the outside, because he felt how physically strong Ngannou was. He probably never felt this kind of strength from a fighter before. You know what I mean? And then 9 and 10, I gave it level. 10-10, 10-10. Reason being is because they're just sitting there. They're both tired. And they're both doing nothing for majority of the time. Not throwing any punches. Tyson's obviously posing, feinting, keeping Ngannou from punching. And then Ngannou's tired and he doesn't really have anything in the tank to throw combinations anymore or let his hands go. So that's why I called it level in both those rounds. So when you tally up the fight, my fight card, my scorecard, I gave it to 96-95 to Tyson Fury. Now for me, that's an Ngannou win. So even though I thought he lost 96-95, to me that's an Ngannou win. He just ran the heavyweight champion of the world closer than a lot of the fighters that he's been in the ring with. Okay? But let's all just have a reality check here. Although Ngannou done amazing, although Ngannou surprised me with his boxing ability and his boxing skills, never surprised me with his power like a lot of you. Like, oh my God, I can't believe Tyson Fury's on the floor. How did Ngannou do that? Knobheads, right? Tyson Fury was in the worst shape, one of the worst shape I've ever seen him in. I've never seen Tyson Fury with his mouth open, gasping for air, and even though he has weight on him anyway, look at where he's looking like that. I mean, he was pulling up his shorts every 2 seconds. That's how much weight he put on. And then it's in Saudi Arabia as well. So like the climate, the air, it's all different out there, isn't it? So I reckon the MMA world should just celebrate that Francis Ngannou went toe-to-toe, didn't look out of place with the best heavyweight on the planet. Celebrate that. Because I tell you what, me as a boxing purist, as someone that teaches the sweet science, as someone that trains pro fighters for a living, I believe Francis Ngannou, with more time, with more training, can become heavyweight champion of the world. So let's celebrate that. Let's not go, oh, it's a robbery, because close fights can't be robberies. And actually watch the fight over and understand the small details of boxing, which is called, by the way, the sweet science. And it's called that for a reason. So if you don't understand about the sweet science, please don't talk. Let's celebrate Francis Ngannou performance. It was a disgraceful performance from Tyson Fury. He took him lightly and he paid for it. But did he do enough to win? By the skin of his teeth? Yes, he did. Have a rematch, or my advice is to Francis Ngannou is to forget MMA, Concentrate on this boxing full time now. Put all your effort into it. Maybe for your next fight, fight a Derek Chisora so you can see, have a competitive fight where it's not an exhibition, so it can go on your record. Derek Chisora would probably be a good first opponent for you. And then go from there. And then within a year or two, become a heavyweight champion of the world. I'm Daily Perales. I'll see you again for another breakdown.